Hello everyone, this is King Gratz here. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm trying to one take this video because I don't really have much time and I just want to get my thoughts down before I forget everything. So, if you've been watching the Leafs and Senators series so far, things have really taken a turn for the worst if you are a Leafs fan. Toronto's gone from a 3-0 series lead and now they're up 3 games to 2 after losing game 4 in overtime and now getting basically shut out at home in game 5 against the Sens. I think they're losing 3-0 right now, maybe with like 2 minutes left. I bet the game's probably over by now. But this is an absolute like disaster and the worst thing you can get as a Leafs fan. But let's be honest, did anyone like not expect this? Like when you're up 3 games to none, every team should feel super confident going into game 4. But if you are a Leafs fan and you've become super familiar with all these choke jobs over the last couple years, like I have at least watching these guys, then you can expect the worst to happen. And the only thing these guys have failed to accomplish when it comes to underwhelming in the playoffs is getting reverse swept. And I absolutely have been thinking that this would happen since the end of game 3. It was great that they went up 3 games to none, but I'm just thinking, you know what? They just set themselves up for the worst failure possible in the playoffs. And they're out of excuses, they're out of time. They literally have nothing left that they can use as an excuse here. You're playing Ottawa, you're not playing Boston, you're not playing Florida, whether it's Tampa or it's the Panthers, you're not playing those guys. You're playing Ottawa, an inexperienced team that's super young, just made the playoffs, and you're letting them basically dictate play throughout most of this series. They basically dominated possession. If you see my previous videos, I talked about how they've controlled zone time. Offensively, they have pretty much dictated most of the play. The Leafs got very lucky by drawing a lot of power plays early in this series, but since the end of game 3, it's all gone. Like these guys aren't getting any more calls. The refs have mostly swallowed their whistles and they're not going to be helping them out much. The Sens have been very opportunistic on offense and they've taken advantage of it. The Leafs have taken way too much time on the power play. It's just an absolute disaster. I don't know what these guys are going to be doing here. And you know what? The only thing I could probably say, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but the only idea I can think of in my head right now is that maybe these guys have like some backup plan and it's not really the mental game, but maybe there's like a hidden agenda here. Like obviously if you're the Leafs, for the owners, they want to make more money, right? So you guaranteed at least 2 home playoff games. When you get to game 7 with home ice advantage, you're getting at least another 2 playoff games. So that's more revenue, right? For the organization, for an absolute cash cow of a fan base, right? So they're going to fill up those seats. So why not, right? At the same time, like, what are the odds that this team is just going to make things more and more interesting? And maybe because we've seen this in sports, at least in the basketball world, where maybe the players have money down in certain areas. Maybe, because of the whole sports betting thing and how it's become so popular and that you've got like, big time players at least getting involved in the advertisements. Maybe guys like Matthews and Marner secretly are hiding money and betting and are basically throwing cash on them to lose the series and they're basically guaranteeing themselves to lose so they can make more profits. Like I'm sorry, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist and I know it sounds like completely radical coming from me, but like, how else can you explain the fact that these guys have underperformed so badly in the playoffs? The only guy that's really been good for them is William Nylander, and he's only been good by like, I don't know, very little. Like, he's been the most consistent player out of the core for at least the last 3 seasons, in my opinion. And he got himself a good contract extension, and he's pretty much secured. But, like, where do you guys go from here? The only thing I can say is if the Leafs lose this series in 7 games, as I'm expecting it to be, then this is certainly the end of the line for this era of Toronto hockey. Like Marner and Tavares are most likely going to be gone. And you can't make any changes to the management. They've changed the GM, getting Tree Living a couple years ago. They brought in Craig Berube literally this past offseason. So you can't fire the coach. The only guy you could see in the front office go is maybe Brendan Shanahan because he's been there for like over a decade and he's seen all of this and he's avoided any blame whatsoever. But like, the only people that can fire him is basically either himself or ownership. Are they going to do that? I don't know. But yeah, it's what a waste of time. And for all the fans that are keep spending money on this team, like, why do you guys do this? I don't know. Like, I it's been so challenging just to even enjoy watching these guys in the playoffs because I can only expect the worst 9 times out of 10. And there's maybe every now and then you get a good blip, but it's just a waste of talent, waste of time, waste of effort. Like there has to be something hidden here. They will lose this series, and it's going to be an absolute disaster from a PR point of view. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know how you think this series is going to go. And I'll see you all next time.